arithmetic series. So let's have a look at an exam question. So we've got the sum of the first 8 terms of the arithmetic series is 124, and the sum of the first 20 terms of the series is 910. So that's the information that you really need. That's the formula you will need there for the sum. And then it's making sure really we understand which bits are going to go where. So we've got 2 variables we need to find in part A. The first term, which is denoted by the letter A, and the common difference, which is usually denoted by the letter D. Okay, so I don't know if you want to make a note of them. So A and D are the 2 formulas, 2 letters we're trying to find within this formula. So we think about the first piece of information they provided for us. So the sum of 8 terms is equal to 124. So n needs to be 8 in this formula. So let's do that first. So we've got 8 divided by 2, square bracket, 2a plus n minus 1 d, where we can say that there is going to be 8 take away 1. Obviously we know n is 8. And then close now square bracket. So if we simplify this a little bit and obviously put in equal to 124, as they've told us it is equal to 124. So we've got 4 on the outside of the bracket, 2a on the inside of the bracket, and then plus 7d. Obviously 8 take away 1 will produce 7. Now getting obviously basic algebra skills, we need to get rid of this 4, so 2 things next to each other mean times, so the opposite that would be divide. So 124 divided by 4 is going to be equal to 2a plus 7d, which leaves us with 31. So we've got 31 is equal to 2a plus 7d. So that's our first equation. We'll do the same with our second piece of information they provided us with. They've told me the sum of the first 20 terms is equal to 910, so n is 20 in this instance. So we've got 910 is equal to 20 divided by 2, open up your square bracket, 2a plus 10 take away 1, or 20 take away 1, sorry, will leave us with 19, so it's 19d. Okay, and then obviously simplifying this will leave us with 10. Again, you've got 2a plus 19d with inside your bracket, and then taking that across to the other side will leave us with 91, dividing the 910 by 10. So that's equal to 2a plus 19d, and that then is our second equation. Okay, now this really should be screaming at you. 2 different variables, 2 equations is simultaneous equations essentially. Okay, so we want to think really about taking one of the equations away from another. So I'm going to set them up down here like you would at GCSE. So there's my first equation, and then I'm going to pop the second one underneath. And we're spotting really if we have any variables or any terms which are the same. You'll notice our front terms are exactly the same, which means straight away we can subtract our equations, which are really nice. So 91 take away 31 will leave me with 60. 19d subtracting 7d will leave me with 12d. And obviously 2a take away 2a disappears. Then I'm thinking about getting d on its own, so I'm dividing by 12, which leaves me with a lovely answer of 5. So you know the common difference in this sequence is 5. I substitute this back in. You can go into whichever equation you like. I'm going to choose equation 2, because I think the numbers are slightly smaller, so it makes my life a little bit easier. So 7d will be 7 times 5, and then you get in everything you want on one side really. So 31 take away 35 will leave us with minus 4. And then remember, in basic algebra, we divide by 2. So that will leave us with minus 2. So that means a, which is our first term, is minus 2. So that's part A done of that equation. If we have a look at then part B, we go back to our question. So it then asks me, the nth term of the series is 183. Find the value of n. Okay, so we now have A and we have D. So if we have a look at our formula, or the thing we're going to need, so we'll have 183, this is part B. 183 is equal to a plus n minus 1 and then d. So n is obviously the variable we're trying to find. A and d are the common difference in the first term that we just found. Okay, so a is our first term. We just located that to be minus 2. Common difference is d. We just found that as well. That was 5. And we're substituting those numbers in and then rearranging essentially to get n on its own, because that's the letter they've asked us to find the value of. So we have 183 is equal to minus 2 plus n minus 1, which we don't know what it is, and 5. Okay, so we've got basic algebra really. I would kind of expand your brackets and sort things out. So I take this one first, so 183 plus 2, and then I'm left with this on that side at the moment. So it's going to leave me with 185, and then I'm going to divide this by 5. 2 things next to each other in algebra mean times, so the opposite of that is going to be divide. So 185 divided by 5, and then you want to think about whether you're going to add or subtract that 1. So obviously taking the minus 1 over to the opposite side will become a positive 1. So it will leave us with 38. And if you want to write it the usual way, or the way you are typically expecting to see it, n is 38.